I love that that's the first thing that you're going to hear is record. All right, so this is...
I feel like you should have had your magic wand in your hand.
You can't see my face?
I mean, you can change it.
No, I'm good.
Question before you continue. About your Harry Potter. What are you again?
A Slytherin.
Slytherin. Okay.
Welcome.
I just want to make sure. Don't worry about it.
That's why I don't care that you're complaining about the ethics questions, because I'm a Slytherin. All right, so we're dividing this chapter into two. This is the A and P. We're going to go over cells, cellular tissue, homeostasis, all that good jazz. And then next week we're going to touch up on all of the body systems. And then you guys can use these slides as practice for your MBLEX. If you,
on the website, like our course.
it should be. I think I added it. Files, PowerPoints. And again, we're using David Merlino's MBLEX guide.
Which one is that again? Because I want to get it.
MBLEX test prep. If you just put MBLEX test prep or review,
I have a test prep, but it's not that one.
it doesn't matter which one you have. You don't even have to have one because you can find everything online these days too. Okay, ready? Cells. Bum, bum, bum. Cells are the functional units of all tissues. Hello. Hello. Cells are the functional units of all tissues. They perform essential life functions. And they divide, which is what mitosis is.
Is the division of cells.
Is the division of the cells. Like this picture here. Mitosis. You have one parent cell that divides into two daughter cells. Finally, the men aren't the main thing here. Yep. Cell division continues until enough cells are formed to form the next thing called tissue. And then there's different phases. I don't know if you need to know the phases, but here are the phases, and I don't care. But the state board might. Interphase, telophase, prophase. All right. Did you learn it?
Yes, we are.
Very good.
It was drawn on my bedroom wall for about 2 weeks.
There you go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Organelles. Yeah. I think I don't know if it was in. We had to make cells. Did you guys ever have a class where you made cells?
I mean, maybe in like middle school or elementary.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah. I feel like there was, I don't know. I feel like there was resin involved somewhere. But organelles are structures that are inside the cell. They regulate the function of said cell. Let's talk about the nucleus. This is the mother load. This controls overall cell function. This contains your DNA. The nucleus is the mother load of the cell. Looks like fruit. Nucleolus. This contains, yes, the RNA, right? And this assists in protein synthesis. So you have your big nucleus and then the nucleolus, the little guy. Golgi apparatus. All these sounds like Harry Potter spells. Sorry, got too excited. All right, these are packages that transport proteins and lipids. See all the folds? That's fun, right? That's a nice little Golgi apparatus. So transporting of proteins and lipids. That's why I said I made this into like a flashcard type thing. Just memorize the basic information, and if it's on the MBLEX, You're good to go. So if you haven't noticed, right now we're talking about different parts of the cell, right? Organelles. All right, so lysosomes. They digest proteins and waste products. Right? Chomp it up. Chomp up the white. The white?
Phagocytes.
I don't even think that's on here, but that's one.
The energy.
Mitochondria produces ATP, and this provides cellular energy. Mitochondria are what's the phrase they say? The powerhouse of the cell. Power as in energy. Your furnace is the powerhouse of your house. All right, mitochondria, good stuff. Ribosomes, another little windy thing, right? They are responsible for protein synthesis. Think ribs. I eat the ribs, I get the protein in me. Make me some ribs, Carly. It's about time for some ribs up in here. We need a potluck based on organelles. That would be weird. All right, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. This bad boy synthesizes carbs and lipids. Carbs. Kiki doesn't know what that is anymore. I have had too many of those. Cytoplasm. This is the gooey gel-like substance chilling inside the cell. It's not just air. You need something, chilling. It allows movement for all those tiny little organelles and material inside the cell. Oh, we're already on to the next. Homeostasis. Let's learn some homeostasis and organization. I feel like you should know at this point in your lives what homeostasis is, but if you don't, it's basically creating a stable environment inside your body. Right? The body constantly will adjust to internal and external changes. Because what we need to thrive and live healthy is homeostasis. Some variables. This would include temperature, hormones, diet, pH level. Right? As these change, the internal environment changes as well. Just think if you go outside when it's freaking hot, you start sweating, right? Things are happening because your body's like, oh, shoot, I need to reduce my temperature, right? Hormones. Maybe something is out of whack because the hormones are out of whack, right? Hormones are really important to keep homeostasis solid, right? Diet is a big one, right? So obviously when things affect these variables, internal changes happen. Mechanisms. Woo! The body responds by using different mechanisms like sweating, shivering, tear formation, saliva formation, right? These responses help return the body back to its normal state. See, I'm a pro. You guys are pros. I'm a pro for sure. So temperature regulation. I feel like this is easy, but here's a chart for funsies. High temperature means sweating, thus creating cooling effects for your body. If you're cold, your muscle can twitch, which would be your shivering, right? This creates heat to keep you warm, right? And if you really care, you can zoom here. As the body temperature rises, your blood vessels dilate, all right, resulting in heat loss to the environment. Sweat glands secrete fluid. Then the fluid is evaporating, creating loss of heat to the body, right? And then you're back to normal. And kind of backwards here, all right? Opposite for cold. Set point. Your normal body temperature set point is roughly 98.6 degrees. Your body temperature fluctuates around this point. Some people have an internal temperature that's a little lower. Mine's like 97.7.
That's how mine is.
Yeah, so like if I have a low grade fever, I'm like 99. And I'm like, you feel good. So. All right. Regional anatomy. So we're done with those stupid cells. That was quick. Right? It's fine. It's good. I think this is really important because this also goes along, like, yes, A and P, but it goes along with kinesiology, the regional anatomy, right? This is study of body structures, which are divided into regions, right? And directional terms for your clarity. So when we're talking about the core, superior is always above, right? Inferior is always below, right? Anterior is always the front. Posterior is always the back. So if I were to be like, okay, point superior to your nose. So, and it would be anywhere above the nose, right? And then lateral to your eyebrow. All right, so using these directional terms should give you an idea of where something is. Now, if you notice there's a trigger point somewhere and you're like, I'm not sure which muscle this is or whatnot, maybe it's around the scapula, you could be like just medial to the medial border of the scapula, right? So it might help somebody who's, maybe you're working on a client and you have multiple therapists in your office and the SOAP notes are telling you exactly where to work, and the next person reads that and then they now know where to find this trigger point or whatever, right? Maybe you notice like a weird mole that you told your client about that you can put in your notes as well. Something like that. So directional terms, important. Medial, midline, lateral away from the midline. Proximal means you're working closer to the trunk. So my shoulder is proximal to my elbow. But distal, my elbow is distal to my shoulder. So just think distal is distance, it's further away, all right? So make sure if you don't know these, memorize them because directional terms are super important for any medical career. All right, directional terms in terms of depth, right? Superficial is always towards the surface. Deep is more internal. And remember, your muscles are layered. You have deeper versions and more superficial. I like to use gastroc and soleus because it's nice, easy, two muscle situation. I know the posterior tibialis, I had a blank there, is in that region too, but let's forget about that. I'll just talk about those two. All right. Next, the planes of the body. So the planes of your body are used to view structures from different perspectives. So this would be like your pictures in your book that maybe cut your elbow in half, or your wrist. We'll say wrist. Cut your wrist in half so that you are looking at it, this way to look at the carpal, or the carpal tunnel it is, or the median nerve, or the carpals, or whatever. So here's those body planes. And I even have them in a color order for y'all. Sagittal. Remember the Sagittarius, the guy with the bow and arrow, right? That would cut you straight in half. Right? So the sagittal plane divides you into left and right portions. It also divides the mid-sagittal into equal halves. So the mid sagittal would be straight, literally midline. All right, but I can cut you with a sagittal plane right here and cut off your arm. All right, that would also be a sagittal plane, but not a mid sagittal. All right, so left and right. Makes sense, sort of? Yes. The other one, your coronal or your frontal plane. Divide your body into front and back, or anterior and posterior. All right, so if you see frontal, the state board, MBLEX, sorry, I'm old, might say your coronal plane, and you're like, what the heck is that? It's the frontal plane. So make sure you know the other names for it, because they are going to try to confuse you. Evil people. Who wrote these questions? The transverse plane, which is your horizontal plane. That is what we are cutting in half to look for your carpals in those pictures. All right. So if I cut this in half and point it at you, like I'm Mega Man. Do you guys know who Mega Man is? Does anybody know who Mega Man is? The video game. All right. So he's shooting out his choo 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 through his his transverse plane. I want to show you a picture of Mega Man. He's cute. He's like Nintendo, old school. All right. Huh? Is he Sega?
No, I was a Sega.
Oh, just get out of my classroom.
Atari.
Only good thing Sega made was Sonic.
Yeah.
Streets of Rage?
Streets
That's
of
a
Rage.
good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nintendo, all the way.
And a buying a Sega.
And then PlayStation. All right, so your transverse, sorry, got you know, a little distracted here. Your transverse plane divides into superior and inferior, okay? So I can take this transverse plane and cut off any section to look at that section a little better. In this picture, we're cutting it right at the waist. Major body regions. So you have your central body, your upper limb, and your lower limb.
You're lucky you have two upper limbs.
Or just one. All right, so your central body includes your head, your neck, and your trunk. All right, your trunk would be your thorax, abdomen, and your pelvis. Upper limb regions. I feel like this is common sense, but it includes your arm, your forearm, your hand, and your wrist. Can we guess what lower limb is? Thigh, leg. Remember, thigh is always knee up. Leg is lower technically. Ankle, foot. Your cavities. So we are going to have there's a picture next, our dorsal and our ventral cavities. Remember dorsal fins? Boom. All right, so your dorsal cavity is going to have the cranial cavity with the brain and the vertebral cavity, the spinal cord. This is why it's called dorsal, because it's on the back. Your ventral is going to be your thoracic cavity and your abdominal pelvic. So abdomen, pelvis. All right, so basically anything that's going to be anterior to the spine. Yes. All right, let's divide that up more into thoracic cavity. So your thorax or your thoracic cavity would be containing lungs and heart. Your pleural cavities and your pericardial cavities. Did you guys learn this in A&P?
Yes.
Cool. So abdominal pelvic cavity, again, is going to have your abdominal organs, right? Digestive organs. Your pelvic cavity, which would be reproductive organs and urinary organs, right? So the bladder. And now we have quadrants. In the medical field, we like to divide your abdomen into quadrants.